Hi guys, Clueless Crafts here. Do you like my new shelf? I got it from IKEA, but I made it a little bit more fun looking. But guess what? Blech. Not that. I have more Create This book, and these are all pages that I plan to do. Alright, first page is Create Simplistic Drawings. Fill this page with stick figure drawings. Okay, so the prompt for this page immediately made me think back to when I was bored sitting in class and I'd doodle on my notes, as most people do. I eventually got bored of drawing flowers and swirls and moved on to stickmen. They were easy to draw and it allowed me to get creative and insert my stickmen into wild adventures and duels and crazy obstacle courses. Now, I will admit I was not kind to my stickmen at times. There were some casualties, but it was all in good fun. Though I'm not sure that makes me sound any better. Anyway, for this page, I wanted to create this chaotic scene where these stickmen were trying to complete this outrageous obstacle course. You'll also notice a teetering rope bridge barely holding on with several planks missing, a very scary set of monkey bars, and some broken off land that doubles as a rock climbing wall. Of course, this is all for stage 1 of the course. Stage 2 consists of decommissioned circus equipment that were deemed too dangerous for live shows. You just saw the ramp and ring jump set. Next up will be a balance beam routine over a pool of water, conveniently filled with alligators that have a taste for human meat. But you think that's bad? Don't decide yet, because there's still one more obstacle I doubt you'd want to try. This one requires a leap of faith, as you jump over the spike-filled pit and swing across the ropes that are placed just a little too far apart. I swear I'm not evil, guys, I promise. Okay, and once everything is drawn in pencil, I can make this a little easier on the eyes. Just like that. Now comes my favorite part, outlining all the tiny details in a pen that can't decide which thickness it wants to be. But honestly, this page has been super fun for me, and I'm quite enjoying how much better a nice black pen is making my drawing look. I've really never used pens in my artwork before I started my YouTube channel, and I'm super grateful that it's given me the opportunity to explore different mediums and discover my art style. Especially after not doing any art or crafts for years before I started my channel. I'm just one of those people that needs to hold myself accountable and set a deadline in order for me to complete anything. Now with YouTube, it's been my reminder to pick up a paintbrush or a pencil and create something. Because while art can be frustrating, it can also be very rewarding once you complete something and being able to say, yeah, I made that. But enough rambling, because it's time to finally add all my stickmen. One there, one there. This one will do a flip. This guy doesn't like alligators. Ooh, that guy sure is unlucky. Don't worry, there's water below. I'm sure he'll be fine. Oh, I also can't forget about the cliff details. I love this part. Really makes them come alive. Oh, and there's that rock climbing wall in action, and someone is attempting the swing. Good luck. Let me know if you do any of these obstacle courses. I think I'd take my chances with the monkey bars and alligators. Seems like the safest route. Alright, finishing up the last guy, and we are ready to glue it in. And I can't forget my rule to add a smile to every page. So let's make this guy extra happy to be there. I think this page turned out great. I love the look of it and it's definitely one of my favorites so far. But let me know what you guys think. Up next is Create Instructions. Write detailed instructions for a very simple everyday task. Include diagrams if necessary. Alrighty, now this one is near and dear to my heart, as I will be drawing instructions on how to make my favorite breakfast. Fried eggs on toast. Well, maybe it's my second favorite breakfast, as I love hash browns and eggs more. But I didn't feel like drawing that today. I'm starting off drawing a fancy title of my instruction page. I wanted to try out a few different font styles and then use color later on to tie them all together. Now I will be breaking my instructions down into 6 steps. I won't be writing any of the instructions out. I'm only going to be using diagrams, so hopefully my point comes across. Step 1 is going to be to bring out a pan and add a spoonful of oil of your choosing. Then turn on the element to preheat the pan. Step 2 is preparing your toast, otherwise this would be a very boring breakfast. I was totally blanking on what the dials on the toaster look like or the placement of them, and Google didn't help either because all these fancy toasters popped up with like a million buttons in different places, which only confused me more. I'll stick with my simple toaster. Thank you very much. Step 3 is what I think is the most nerve-wracking part, cracking your eggs into the pan. I like cracking my eggs one-handed, but more often than not, when I'm making fried eggs, the pressure of a perfect egg crack just gets to me and I break the yolk. At some point, I just gave up and now I use 2 hands to crack my fried eggs. Step 4 can also result in a disaster, as this is when you have to flip your eggs over. Of course, skip this step if you like sunny side eggs, but I like mine over easy. Step 5, and we are almost done. Time to plate your toast and eggs together. You know, fried eggs are tricky because at any step of the way, there's a chance of breaking the yolk. It's such a letdown when I've made it through the entire process without breaking the yolk, only for it to explode all over my plate when I get a little bit too excited to eat. Not a big deal for some, but for me, it's a catastrophe. Step 6, and my personal favorite, is to stuff your face with the delicious breakfast you just made all by yourself. I like to keep mine simple with some salt and pepper, and once that's on, I waste no time staring at it any longer. Now that we have our rough draft ready, it's time to bring out the pen again, as it is quickly becoming one of my favorite art tools. Before I get into using a pen to outline, I would just go over everything again with a pencil, but applying more pressure so that it comes out darker. But then I'd still have all these lighter pencil lines that I would try to erase while avoiding the darker pencil lines. Looking back, it sounds stupid. Why would I do things the hard way that still results in a messy finished product? I blame it on the fact that all the pens I had were terrible, like those cheap pens that came in a 10 or 20 pack that wouldn't work half the time. I mean, even this pen isn't perfect. I can never seem to get a smooth, solid line, but I'll find the perfect pen someday, if it even exists. But even if I don't find it, I'm happy with this one because there is nothing better than erasing all the pencil marks after I'm done outlining. It's just so satisfying. I'm just finishing up now, and after waiting plenty of time for the ink to dry, it's time to bring out my magic eraser. Bippity boppity boop. Oh, let's clean that up too, and done. But not really, because this thing still needs some color. Like I mentioned before, I wanted the color to tie the title together. And since fried eggs are yellow, I thought it'd be nice to use warm tones such as yellow, orange, and red for the whole color scheme. I think it gives the page a nice cohesive look. Also, I'm not being super technical with my coloring technique. I'm basically just treating it like a coloring book, where my only concern is staying inside the lines. Did I achieve my one goal? For the most part. The only place I put more effort into it is my little guy eating the fried eggs, since I didn't want him looking flat. Plus, practice is practice, so trying never hurts. And once everything is colored in, all I need to do is glue the page in, trying to get the fold directly in the center, which is a lot harder than it looks. I don't think any of my pages are entirely smooth. All of them have bumps or air bubbles thanks to my gluing talent. Alright, and this is the finished page. I'm super happy with how it turned out, and I'm definitely going to be making this for breakfast tomorrow morning. Alright, our next sticky is the Create Stencils. Cut shapes out of this page, use the cutouts as stencils on the next page. Okay, so let's take that sticky off and start drawing. For this prompt, I thought it'd be fun to do some clouds and a sun and moon design. So I'm just taking my time trying to draw a cloud that actually looks like a cloud and not a blob. But in doing so, I didn't realize I'd be making my future self pay for it. You see, in order for it to be a stencil, it has to be cut out. And who do you think cuts it out? No, it's not past Clara who thought of the cloud idea. It's future Clara who did not agree to such a difficult task. At first I tried scissors as I thought it'd be easier to ensure a nice clean cut, but it just proved difficult to continue. That's when I took out the big guns with my cutting board and X-Acto knife. I've never cut paper like this before, and I think it shows. Some of those cuts were rough, and it's not that easy to cut a curved line with a straight blade. But I think that's just my personality, which is to do everything the hard way. If there's a simple process to do something, you can bet your bottom I'll figure out a way to make it 10 times harder. Once I finally had all the pieces cut out, it felt wrong to not use them. So I dedicated this page to create a different scene by tracing my cutouts several times over. But let's move on for now. The main stencil is going to be a night scene, so I start with the moon and work down to the clouds, which will be different shades of blue and purple. Turning the page over, I started on the background as it would take the longest and I wanted to get it over with. For that, I did several layers of black, blue, and a little bit of purple. Moving back to the clouds, I turn the page back over so I can finish the cloud outlines and shading. Then some finishing touches on the moon, and oh, would you look at that? The background's done. Though it is still missing something, so I took my white acrylic paint pen I got from Walmart and poked the page until I was satisfied. Finally, we can't have night without day, so let's just finish this mess we started. I'll just speed through this as there's not much to see. I used yellow, orange, pink, and light blue pencil crayons for the entire page. I think the colors looked really nice together, and I liked how the sun turned out with the rays of brightness surrounding it. Though I got pretty bored drawing this one because there's just so many clouds. Like, why doesn't my past self ever stop to consider who would be coloring all of this in? Anyway, just some finishing touches left, and my day and night stencil page is looking good. I'm quite happy with both, and I like how the different colors pop through the stencil when you're on the night page. Pretty cool looking. Which page do you like more? The colorful sunny day or the moody blue night? I can't decide. Okay, so our last sticky page is create weather-based decor. Fill this page based on the current weather condition. Alright, so currently it is raining outside, and I'll add in a little clip of the weather. And it gives me the perfect idea for what I want to do with this page. Okay, so when I first read the prompt, I'm thinking, what is weather-based decor? Is it a chair that looks like a cloud? Wallpaper with raindrops on it? But then I'm like, I think I'm going about this too literally. So I just focus on rainy weather and then it hits me. What does everyone do when it's raining? Why, they look out the window watching rain droplets slide down and glisten in the light. At least that's what I do. So I decided to mimic that look and create a page where it's like I'm reliving that moment of watching rain fall down a window. I start with a nice layer of blue paint, and I'm not caring if it's messy or blended since this is going to be our unfocused background with the water droplets front and center. Speaking of, I'm starting by outlining each droplet before I paint the inside. Not only does it make painting the water droplets easier, but if you happen to observe any water droplets, depending on the background, you'll notice most of them have a very thin, dark outline, usually because it's reflecting the color in the background behind it. So once all these outlines are done, it's time to fill these suckers in. I paint all of them the same way. Dark blue on the top, light blue on the bottom, and blend in the center. Then I define the outline with the same dark blue if needed. I will be adding highlights later on, but for now all these droplets will just be looking very flat in 2D. Those highlights really change the entire look of it. And these long droplets were fun to do. Just when I thought I was done blending, there was more raindrop to go. But I definitely got my practice in painting rain droplets. I'm a definite pro now. See me for all your rain droplet needs. Getting to the end and we don't have a smile. I mean, I forgot a smile on the last page with the sun and moon, but let's not make that mistake again. So this raindrop is going to be very happy to be here, running free. And now the moment I've been waiting for, and maybe you too, highlights. I did the first few and got worried because I didn't think they looked good, but after adding more, it started to come together for me. I also think when you're the one painting a piece, you see every little mistake along the way, so that's all you notice in the end. Whereas someone seeing it for the first time only sees the finished product. Well, I guess now you are also seeing the process, so maybe after you watch this, the thumbnail won't look as impressive. I don't know. Anyway, looks like I'm done, and if you hold your phone far away, it looks really good. Just don't stare too close. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like or comment down below. But other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Bye!